Bim! Guess what? I'm testing a camera. In order to test the camera, I'm going to use something that's really, really, really old. When I say really, really, really old, I mean really, 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 really old. It's from 1916 and possibly belonged to my grandfather. I can't see it belonging to my grandmother, I'll be honest with you. But I could see it belonging to my grandfather. And it is a 1916 very thick book called Chatterbox. And it is incredibly tatty. All the pages are there. So I thought it might be interesting to, rather than do stuff that I want to do with the new camera, which is actually my original camera, what I want to do is do something that's just like a one-off, and just give it a quick test and see if it works or not. Why not something that's 104 years old? It's as old as Donald Trump. Time of recording, Donald Trump's just been kicked out of the White Office. White House, not actually physically kicked out yet. He's just lost the election, which was a big surprise to no one, except for Donald Trump. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. Although I do, obviously. Oops. Right, I need to put all this stuff away. There we go. So, got say a new camera, but it's not a new camera, it's an old camera. And we are going to, it means I've got 3 cameras going on the OBS. The desktop PC I had before was capable of doing 2 cameras, but I thought I'd really want to connect to 3 cameras so I can do more stuff. So that's what we're doing, he says optimistically. God's sake. Oh, it does show them online. Yay! It always takes a while for it to catch up, I'll be honest with you. Oh, my head disappears on that line there, look. Anyway, the book is made by... Ta-da! Camera! That's a camera. Let's see if I can... I've got to figure out... Now, this is just me learning how to do this, so just bear with us. London Wells Gardner Darton and Co Limited, 3 Palamoshte buildings. I wonder if they're still there. And it was 1916. Like I said before, it's called Chatterbox, and it shows a lovely scene there of some kids throwing snowballs at some other kids. Note silly black there, being quite aggressive to young whomever they are. So you open it up, like I say, it is really old fashioned, because it is really old. Does baby put on flesh? What? If baby is not increasing his weight as be ought to do, you may be sure that something is wrong with his diet. Have you tried cow's milk, either natural or dried in powder form, diluted with barley water made from Robinson's patent barley? Thousands of mothers have proved that this diet is not only like most economical, but also by far the most effectuous for bad hand feeding infants. So it's Johnson's patent barley. Wow, this is just the first thing. The barley separates the curd of the milk and prevents the accumulation in the stomach, thus enabling the most delicate infant to digest the milk. Bread for free booked address mothers department. Okay, so This is amazing. They've even got from 40 Robert Street, Hampstead Road, Northwest. Dear Sir, enclosed, find photo of my baby which I thought you would like to advertise, as she has been brought up on your patent barley since she was 3 weeks old. She is now 13 weeks and weighs 13 months, and weighs 2 stone 1 pound. Yours sincerely, Mrs. Rowbottom. Wow. Oh my word. Ask Mama to write and get you a copy of Wright's first primer. It's full of funny coloured pictures and help you such a lot with your spelling. If you've a little brother or sister too, there's Wright's alphabet book for them. Tell Mama that both of these books are issued by the makers of Wright's Coal Tar Soap, your favourite soap, and either may be had free by sending a penny stamp for postage to Nursery Brooks, Wright's Coal Tar Soap, 44 to 50 South Warwick Street, London, SB. Wow. And that's just the back of the cover. We've not even got to the stories. The good news is the camera's holding up. So, forms a useful gift to a relative or a friend. Obviously not to a relative who's a friend. Like your special Uncle Derek, for example. Second to the Swan. The Blackbird is not quite so finely made as the Swan, but it's the best pen obtainable for 5 shillings. It has a strong gold nib and reliable ink feed. So it says it's not as well made as the other thing they do. A really good and smooth writing pen for use at home, at school or business, for grown-ups as well as growing-ups. Get a Blackbird and cultivate a good habit, the fountain pen habit. So there you go, Blackbird fountain pen made by Swan Pen people, supplied in all points, with pocket clips 5 and 6. So you can buy it on its own or with a pocket clip for 5 and 6. Sold by stationers everywhere or by post from the makers at 3D, which is old pence extra. Illustrator catalogue post free on request. Mabel Todd and Co Limited, 79 to 80 Holborn, London. WC 204 Regent Street, Cheapside, 3 Exchange Street, Manchester, that's still there. And the factory is in Weston Street, London. And then they've got this lovely drawing of their pen, which is lovely, isn't it? But it's not as good as the Swan. It's not as good as the Swan. But then it's got this, which says, this illustration shows the actual size of the Blackbird pen. Note how nicely it is shaped and how large is the gold nib. It looks and is a real pen, not a toy. But it's not as good as the Swan pen. To be fair, I'd sooner stick with my Bic if that's all the same with you. What's going on there? Is this not working? We got a problem. NASA, we have a problem. Oh my god. Done the wrong thing. I'm already on it. Duh. That one. Oh no, we're still going. We've only got one viewer, but we're still going. Did you get the Swan pen thing? Because I'm not sure I did. Wouldn't mind, we haven't even got... So you got that bit, did you? The illustration shows the actual size of the Blackbird pen, but it's not as good as the Swan pen. So, the first 2 pages, look at the quality. But it's old, it's 2016, it's 1916. Oh, hang on. The correct feeding of infants. So hang on a minute. Are they dissing Robinson's Patent Barley? Because this is the correct, this is page 4. No attempt to provide a correct system for the progressive feeding of infants was ever successfully carried out until the Allenbury series of infant foods were introduced. So successful have the Allenbury foods number 1, 2 and 3 proved that whenever a child is denied the privilege of the mother's milk, they are indispensable. Gratifying evidence of their remarkable value is the feeding of infants from birth. This is constantly coming to hand. The following is a copy of one of the many such voluntary letters received from medical men, nurses and parents resident in nearly all parts of the world. Well, there you go then. Our nurse writes, I am pleased to say I have used your foods 1, 2 and 3 for the last 20 years and I found none better. The most delicate baby ever born I nursed and reared on the foods until he was 3 years old, and now he is 18 years old, a strong and healthy boy, nearly 6 feet high and as rosy as an apple. You can make whatever use you like of this, as I should like your foods and other things to be more used in the future, as instead of making fat alone they make bone and muscle, which is what children need. Signed, Nurse Davy. Wow, well that's a commendation, isn't it? Strapping 18-year-old 6-foot lad. Didn't help him too much, he's probably dead now. The practical results from a continually extended use of Allenbury's foods prove beyond doubt the children thrive especially well on them. Such children are healthy and well grown. The flesh is firm without excess of fat and the formation of bones is solid. Allenbury's foods, the best alternative to human milk. You don't give 3-year-olds human milk, do you? Having said that, I suppose 100 years ago they didn't have cow and gate or anything like that, so it is a possibility. If you've just joined us and wonder what the hell's going on, this is a video I'm just using to test out the new camera, and we're currently reading Chatterbox from 1916. We haven't actually got to any good bits yet because we're just reading the adverts. So here we go. Milk food number 1 from birth to 3 months. In time at 1 and 6 and 3 shillings each. So I assume there's 2 different sizes. Milk food number 2 from 3 to 6 months in tins at 1 and 6 and 3 shillings. Pardon me. Malted food number 3 from 6 months upwards in tins at 6pence, 1 shilling, 2 shilling, 5 shillings, 10 shillings, EAC, is that etc.? I assume it might well be. The Allenbury Rusk Malted, a useful addition to baby's dietary when 10 months old and after, in tins at 1 and 6 and 2 and 9 each. Now rusks, Farley's rusks. I tried some a few years ago and they were bloody horrible, but apparently I loved them when I was a kid. Right for a large sized free sample of food stating age of child, whether weaned or unweaned. Also for free book infant feeding and management. 64 pages of valuable information for every mother. That's lovely, isn't it? And that's from Alan Hanbury Limited, 37 Lombard Street, London, EC, and it's copyright. Look, it's got a nice little thing going around the frame. Talking of which, we are now on the first title page of Chatterbox. There you go. I can't set the zoom. Going the wrong way. There you go. Chatterbox. And it's this lovely picture, very Victorian. and it is published for the proprietors by Wells Gardner, Darton Coal Limited, in the buildings that we said before, and there's pretty flowers, and these are obviously parts of the stories that you can read about. All wholesome and jolly good fun. Chatterbox, founded by J. Erskine Clark, M.A. These pages are incredibly fiddly. You can see how they've just aged. Oh, here we go. There's nothing on that page. No one could be asked advertising, apart from it says London printed and blah blah blah. But yeah, nothing on that page. And then it says contents. Now, this is a mammothly sized book. So, look at that one there. Where are we? A clever ass on page 371. A conspiracy cupboard across the water, which is obviously one that runs through. The ticks, I assume, are whoever owned this book, be it my grandfather or grandmother, are the stories that they've read. So they put ticks on. Tee-hee, what page is that? 214. Riddles from Russia. Quacks of Old England. Pussy. Oh my god. Excellent, I'm glad you're enjoying them. I'm glad they're working as well, which is good. King Alfred and the Cowherd's Hut. What else has been read? The Good Dog. The Little Loaf. Look at all of those. This is why I don't use the word "the" when I'm putting DVDs away, because there's just too many of them. Look. The Queerest Bird in All America. Oh, we're back to Donald Trump again. 2 bottles. Uh-oh. Camera's froze. Is that because I pulled it? That's because I pulled it. Oh. I need to reset the camera. Hang on a minute. I might be able to do it magically by the use of something exciting, which would be my personality. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's it. Let's put that up. Let's read. Click that, and we will deactivate it, and then we'll activate it again, and then click on OK. And there you go, we're back on. So yeah, I can't pull it too hard. Where were we looking at then? Oh, 2 bottles, and wrinkles for the 5th. So it's a very, very, very thick book, as you can see. There are some, I think, coloured pictures in here. I'm not sure. I've not looked at it for ages. Oh, there we go. Right, okay. A table centre drawn on the 2nd of April. Ready to be painted and hoping it will be better when 'tis finished. Done by Veronica Badsmern. April 2nd. A table. So that's what they drew in April. But there are pictures as well that have been drawn by professionals, like this one for example, which is some children walking into an old lady's room, startling her by the looks of things, and it says at the bottom, Gladys sees the DCR door handle and burst into the cottage. I told you, see? I knew what was going on, even though I didn't know what was going on. Oh look, the Church of St Thomas in where's what? Winchelsea. Winchelsea. And there, that's a beautiful church. We're on page 85 as well. I think there may be... I told you the coloured pictures. There you go. So that's a nice coloured picture of something, and it says the songster's home. And then we've got another desperate situation here with this young girl in bare feet. It was like a storm with some other woman behind her and a bit of rope, and it says someone was coming across the sands towards her. Ooh, bit ominous, isn't it? And then you've got the actual stories that you can read, which, I'll be honest, they're quite long. A test of courage. Your brother must be a coward. The jeering speech echoed mockingly through the schoolroom, and immediately all heads were turned in the direction of Olive Riley, as 11 pairs of eyes waited eagerly to see how she would defend the attack. Wow, can you imagine being in a school where there's only 11 other kids in your classroom? That's all I got out of that. Right, let's go back to the thingamabob. We'll see what's been written. Oh, I've got one dislike. Great, I love it. I don't see dislikes when I'm actually live streaming. I never see them any other time. So yeah. Once the live stream's finished, someone dislikes it. Never see it. Pussy in Peril. That's one we laughed at, didn't we? Page 309. So this is a big book. The Mystery of an Ancient Papyrus. The Humble Bee. Somebody busy is coming this way. Buzz a buzz hum, we can hear her say. What's she doing? That business her so. Come and we'll see where she wants to go. Here she comes to the foxglove tall, and in out of its blossoms all. Only one seems to please her well, hearing the buzzing inside its bell. Where there's honey she understands, gets it all out without tools or hands. Works away for the whole day long, always singing a buzzing song. See her legs, they are almost black, brown and yellow and furry back, filling her horny bags for she shall roam. Now it's full, she's off home. Eva M. Haynes. That's fantastic, isn't it? Anyway, what we're looking at, 308. Oh, hey up. There's a bad guy there, and he's having a gun pointed at him by a child and his brother or sister. That's quite scary. Don't you dare to get up, whispered Phil. Okay. The Fairy Flower. What's that say? Guards did it for homework art. Okay. It was 308, wasn't it, I was looking for? Another nice drawings. The illustrations are good, but they're all done on, I assume they're done on metal and then etched is the word I'm looking for. $3.19, $3.15, $3.13, $3.10, $3.8. Was it 308? Oh yeah, Pussy in Peril. It was 309. And there's our Pussy in Peril. Okay. The cat very cautiously put forth one paw. So Pussy in Peril. As the people of a certain town were going to church one fine summer Sunday evening, so many of them stopped and gazed upward that a large crowd was soon gathered on the spot. This crowd attracted the attention of two policemen, and they too looked up. What did they see? A black cat. This is why I never do Jackanory. A black cat clinging for dear life to a projecting ornament near the top of a tall church steeples. How did it get there? Said the people one to another. And the next question was, how will it get down? The terrified creature was looking down on the people, mewing as though appealing to them for help. Once it slipped, and exclamations of pity came from the crowd, but the cat's claws caught on another projection, and so for the moment it was safe. Some of the onlookers suggested that the cat should be shot in order to put it out of its misery. But no one cared to be the shooter. Presently, a small window on the steeple at some distance above the cat was seen to open. Two boys, determined to save the animal, had mounted the stairs to the belfry, and then, by means of a ladder, had reached the window. They had with them a board which they held by one end and lowered towards the cat. The heroes. But this plan did not answer. The cat put out a paw distrustfully, but quickly drew it back, and that moment one of the boys actually let the board slip from his grasp. It turned over, and had puss trusted to its support, the poor creature must have been dashed to the ground. The boys, however, tried again, this time with a basket, which they managed to push out of the window and lower to the cat, which evidently approved of this plan, for it ceased to cry and eagerly watched the basket as it came nearer and nearer. When it was in reach, the cat very cautiously put forth one paw and then another, and then took hold of the basket's side, then drew itself up, and with a violent effort, flinging itself over the side into the bottom of the basket. This meant the next moment, amid cheers of the spectators, the cat was drawn up into safety. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful story. I'm glad the cat was safe. I've gone to the back of the book. See how many pages there are, to be honest. Well, it says 412. Which means this one is 413, 414, 415. And look at this little girl here. Plasticine is lovely. I play with it nearly every day. Won't you get some? You do not get tired of it like you do of toys. Very attractive home modelling outfits. 1 and 3, 1 and 10, 2 and 4, 3 and 5, and others. Harbert's Plasticine Limited in Bath. And then, oh God, I've just seen the next one. Symington soups, cheering, sustaining, delicious, economical, always handy and always welcome. A plateful with a piece of bread or toast makes a complete and satisfying meal. 11 varieties, not the 57 we're used to now. Mulligatawny, green pea, lentil, pea, celery, onion, oxtail, Scotch broth, tomato, white vegetable, and mock turtle. A packet makes a quart. Off all grocers and stores. Symington's, Market Harbour. Been there, done that. And finally, on this page, The Happy Hospital. How can you help? Crippled and happy? Surely a strange contradiction. Yet it truthfully describes the little patients at the Alton Cripples Hospital, founded by Sir Wallington Trelow. 250 little boys and girls, all terribly affected by tuberculosis, bone disease, are being carefully and skillfully nursed back to health again. A place of pain truly, yet a place of laughter and good spirits and merry children. Why? Because the last three little sufferers were being freed from pain and are hoping to be well and strong once more. In 8 years, nearly 1,300 of these little tuberculosis cripples have been made sturdy and strong, with all the disease gone and deformity removed or reduced. But hospital is in urgent need of help, and Sir William Treloar asks each reader of Chatterbox, or the price, to send him a gift for the little cripples at Alton, or ask for a collecting card, and to interest their friends in this wonderful work for the crippled children. You are enjoying life's greatest blessing, health and happy home. Christmas has showered its gift on you. The new year for you is full of promise. Won't you do something for those little ones who are seeking health and freedom from pain? Out of gratitude for your blessings, we will do what you can for. Will you do what you can for those who appeal for your help and sympathy? And there's a coupon at the bottom to fill in to Sir William Treloar and various address. Dear Sir, I'm sending you X pounds, shillings and pence for your little cripples. Please send me a collecting card as an handcrafted booklet, and I will do my best to help the little cripples at Alton, where you put your name and address, and it's Chatterbox 1916 and the prize as well. And then we've got a little picture there of a little girl, and she says, will you help me please? Wow, how standards have changed over the years. I'm genuinely in shock. Looks won't shrink woolens. And there's two girls and a boy looking very happy, and it's the friend of the family. Lux is indeed a friend of the family. Big folks and little folks wear in comfort clothes washed by Lux. Lux is a unique washing preparation, especially adapted to the washing of flannels, woolens, lace, hosiery, delicate and dainty fabrics. It prevents the texture of loosely woven fabrics from matting and shrinking in the wash. Lux is good for every form of refined cleanliness. Splendid for shampooing the hair. In packets everywhere. Lever Brothers, Livingston, Port Sunlight. I've been to Port Sunlight as well. Wow. Robust health and good spirits are the gifts of all whose daily bread is Bermeline. Never heard of Bermeline, I'll be fair. Best brown bread, made from the choicest wheat and malted barley. Bermeline is guaranteed absolutely pure and ideal bread in every way for your young and old. There is usually a baker in every district who makes Bermeline. Do not accept a substitute. Okay, we won't. Oh, Macintosh's Toffee Deluxe. Wow, that's small, isn't it? I need to do my focus again, I think, so I can read that. There are occasions when words are superfluous. So this young gentleman thinks, and he is wise, for who would waste words when there's a whole tin of Toffee Deluxe available? It is rather big, a tin, so for a chap. Hang on, it is rather a big tin for so small a chap. But his mother knows that this butter sugar cream sweetmeat will do him good, and anyhow, we expect she will rescue the tin soon, in the interest of the rest of the family. Try also Mint Deluxe, Cafe Deluxe, and Chocolate Toffee Deluxe, all as good as only Macintosh can make them. Nom 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 nom. Delicious French coffee, red, white and blue, for breakfast and after dinner. In making use, less quantity is being much stronger than ordinary coffee. That's it, that's the advert. I've no idea what that's selling apart from coffee. I've had a little bit, but not a big one. Ladies and children's hair. Nothing can be more beautiful than flowing, curly and golden locks of children when properly attended to, and decidedly the best application is Rowland's Macassar oil, which promotes beauty of appearance and at the same time strengthens and nourishes the hair. Without it, the hair becomes dry, thin and brittle. It preserves and beautifies the hair, prevents baldness, and eradicates scurvy. It's the best dressing for ladies' hair. For fair and grey hair, you should use golden mascara oil. Sizes 3 and 6, 7 shillings, 10 and 6, equal to 4 small. Sold by stores, chemists, hairdressers, and A. Rowlands and Sons, Haddon Garden, London. Avoid cheap worthless limitations under the same or similar names. God, it's like a predecessor of Watchdog, isn't it? And then the back. This is this is the back cover, so you can imagine it's been around for a while. Pears, the soap of subtle charm. Like flowers, it creates an atmosphere in the home, pleasing and refreshing. It fascinated Milady for a long ago. Of long ago. It fascinates Milady of today. For over a century, Pears has been bought for its incomparable value to the complexion and its exceptional economy in use. So there you go. Practice economy. Practice economy. Use Pears soap. And then it just says a beautiful coloured reproduction of Bubbles by Sir John Millinus, PRA, blah blah blah. So I assume that's what that picture is. So they've had to give the copyright shout out to the guy who wrote it, because it's a copy of it. But anyway, there you go then. There you go. So that was just testing something out. I'm doing stuff that's probably more interesting to you guys in the future, like magazines. Also doing Japanese magazines, comics, British comics, and a few other bits and pieces as well. Now I know the camera works. Now I know how to reset it when it stops working. That was just basically a test, but I also thought it'd be interesting to have a look at Chatterbox from 1916, just to see what the hell is going on and how things were different back then. So don't forget to support the cripples. Don't even know what. Oh god. So yeah, that was slightly insane, I'll be honest with you. So from 1916, I will say goodnight to Jack, PS4, Boris, any, anyone else who's watching. I know it's a bizarre one, that tonight, so I've got one dislike, but I kind of get that. It's not really something I do on this channel. But I appreciate your time and patience. I've got an itch. And I will see you all again very, very soon indeed. Until then, I'll be seeing you.